A very good morning, dear children. I hope you all are safe. My dear children, kindly follow the instructions given by your teachers. You know for what? To protect yourself and your loved ones and the community from the spread of this COVID-19 or coronavirus. And many of you think that I know many things about corona, so why should I hear to new awareness classes? But still, children, so many new information are getting from different sources about this corona and the precautions we are supposed to take, because we all know that it is spreading like anything now. Also, it is not under control, so you should be updated. So the teachers are trying to give you more awareness classes through different sources, through posters, through the essays, through the videos, etc. So kindly attend it regularly and take it as serious and follow the instructions very well. At the end of this class, I am also attaching a video regarding the awareness about corona. So please do watch it and kindly follow the instructions. Clear? Okay. So today we are going to start a new chapter. Before to start the chapter, I would like to ask you one question. Shall I? Yes. What's the most important thing that you need in your life now? What's the most important thing? Many of you may say that it's food. I don't want such answers. Food, water, clothing, air. These are all basic needs. I'm not talking about that. I want some other answer. The most important thing that you need in your life now. You cannot live with it. You can't live. You're mostly dependent on it. Yes, I could see some are telling the answer. Yes, it is the mobile, right? Yes. So we all are completely dependent on the mobile phones. Months before, you might have said that your parents, they're always using the mobiles for checking WhatsApp, FB, etc. But now, more than that, you are dependent on it. You are for attending the classes, for taking the notes, for writing, for sharing information, for everything. We all are dependent more on this mobile. Your parents are compelling you to watch the classes through the mobiles. Months before, the situation was not like this. You all know that when you take the mobile, then your parents may say that, no, don't do that, don't touch the mobile, its radiation is there and you are not allowed to use it continuously. But now, no, you are forced to do it. That is it. We all are forced to attend it, forced to see the mobile, forced to use the mobile. So you are supposed to take some precautions also. Clear? Because no, your eyes are getting affected more while you use the mobile. So you should give some relaxation to your eyes, as I used to say all the time. Look at the nature, that is very, very important. That's a very good relaxation. So that is not our concern now, just I am coming to the point. So for working of the mobile, what we need? Yes, some of you may say that we want the batteries that are inside the mobile. So we want to charge it frequently. Then only we can use the mobile. So for the charging of the mobile, what we need? Yes, current or electricity is very, very much needed. Just imagine a day without electricity. Those who are having the inverters at home, definitely you can depend on it. For a few hours, it may work for you. And those who are depending on broadband internet connection also, we want the power. Otherwise, the power of the net will be less. So in that time also, we need the electricity. Am I right? Those who are using it, they know it. And if inverters also stop working, if for one day, if no power is there, definitely all routine should be affected. Not only yours, your parents, they all get irritated. We all get irritated if electricity is not there. Last year when we faced the flood, that time, some of us, we not have power for nearly 2 to 3 days in different parts of Kerala. That time people had faced a lot of difficulties. That time, we did not have these online classes. So we were escaped from it. But now, if such a situation comes again, definitely we all will be affected. Not only you, the teachers, your parents, all will be affected if electricity is not there. So the electricity plays very, very, very important role in our life. The beginning of this chapter itself, a small story is there about the girl who was returning from her, from the hostel for the vacation to her hometown, and she was about to reach her hometown, early after, at night. So she could see that railway station it was lit well. Chains of lights were seen. So even in remote villages also nowadays we could see the electricity, especially in Kerala I'm talking about. In different parts of the country it is not like that. In some part of, in some remote states, situation is not like this. But now as we are talking about Kerala, we cannot even imagine, especially as, in different part of Kerala now students are attending the online classes, through Victor's channel, the state school students also through the TV. For that also electricity is needed. For charging our mobiles, we need electricity. And for all our domestic activities also, we all need what? Electricity. So electricity plays a very, very important role in our life. So in this chapter, we are going to study more about electricity. What is that? Electricity. Yes. So, you know that different equipments, as I told you about the mobiles, rechargeable batteries are there. Just observe this type of batteries we often use. It changes from one mobile set to another, but this type of, batteries, we often call it as battery, but it is not actually battery. We can call it as what? Who can tell me the correct answer for it? Yes, we can call it as what? Cell. It's not actually battery. Then why we often call it as battery? It's a normal usage. When we go to the shop, if you want to buy, you may say, uncle, please give me one battery. And he may give you that. But actually, if one thing we are using, it is actually not a battery, it's a cell. What is that? It's a cell. In our body, we know numerous cells are there. Don't get confused. That is another cell, building unit of life. That is a cell. And here the cell is different. It is often confused. We often use it instead of what? Battery. Actually, battery means if more cells are there. If two or more cells are there, then we can call it as what? Battery. If only one is there, we can call it as what? Cell. Clear? Again, don't get confused. If one thing we are using is actually a cell. If more than two or more than two, we often call it as what? Battery. Clear? Yes. That is about so. So in different equipments, we use different types of cells are used. In the watches we can see the small, small cells are often we are using in the, watches. And the clock we are using this type of cells. Clear? Yes, in the clocks we are using. So different equipments in the car we are having the big batteries are there. Rechargeable. So likewise, different types of cells are used in different types of electrical equipments, depending upon the power of it. For the car to run, it is high powerful batteries are needed. If you use this small battery, can we run a car? No, it is absolutely impossible. We can't. For working of the car, the more power is needed. For working of, a mobile, this is rechargeable battery and less power is needed. And the case of, the watches and all, we are just replacing that battery. You're replacing that cell. In the case of these also that after using it, we often throw it or discard it. And we often replace it by using another cell. Often we use it in the remote, we are using this type of cell, and in the the clocks we are using this. So after completing, when the charges getting over, then we are just replacing this with another cell. Or normally those who don't know it, just watch it, then what we do with this. Clear? So depending upon the power of the electrical equipment, the power of the battery also changes. Or the power of cells we are using also changes, and different types of cells are available in the market. Different shapes of cells are there, different types of cells are there. Clear? Now we can move on to the different parts of the cell. First we can see different parts of the cell. Just observe this. See? Hope it is clear. Yes. Just observe this cell very carefully. We can see two parts are there. Can you see this part? Yes. You can see a head-like structure. It's a head, isn't it? And the opposite part, it is the flat portion. I hope it is clear. This part is the flat portion and this part is having the head. And this part which is having the head, it is the positive terminal of the cell. Every cell is having two terminals. One is the positive, another one is the negative. That is the positive and this one it is the negative. Positive and the negative. The part that is having the head, that is the positive. The part that is having the head, it is the positive terminal of the cell. The part that is having the head. You know, at the head we can see the cap-like structure. Hope it is clear. We often use cap where? Yes, over the head we usually wear the cap. So very easy to remember. The part that is having the cap is the which terminal of the cell? Yes, it is the positive terminal of the cell. The part of the cell that is having the head. Head is always, we say this is a positive part, isn't it? Head. And the leg part we can call it as the negative. So, similar, just relate it with that. So, the part that is having the head and head is having the cap. Just keep in mind that head is having the cap and that part is the positive terminal of the cell. Don't get confused. The part that is having the cap and that part is the head and that is the positive terminal of the cell. This part is the positive terminal of the cell. And inside the cell, you know what is actually the head? Inside the cell, we can see the carbon rod. Inside the cell, we can see the carbon rod. And this carbon rod is having the head. Inside the cell, we can see the carbon rod. And the carbon rod is having the head. That is the projected part of the cell. That is the projected part of the cell. And that part is the positive terminal. Clear? Inside the cell, we can see a carbon rod. This carbon rod is having the head. That head, it is the positive terminal of the cell. Hope it is clear. The head part, it is the positive terminal of the cell, and the opposite part, it is the metallic plate is there. Hope it is clear. The metallic plate is there. That is the negative terminal of the cell. Clear? Two terminals, positive and the negative terminal. Positive terminal, it is having the head, and negative terminal, it is the flat part, and the head, it is the head of the, and the cap, it is the head of the carbon rod placed inside the cell. So this carbon rod is full of chemicals. When the chemicals get used up, we could observe that electrical equipment stops working. Is it whatever equipment works based or with the help of this cell, and what happens, you know, when the chemicals get used up, the cell stops working. Then what? If the cell stops working, what happens? Yes, the equipment stops working. When the chemicals get used up, we are supposed to replace the cell with another cell. In some cases, the case of mobile phones and all, no, we are recharging the cell. We are not discarding the battery or the cell. Of course, often get mistaken by the battery, and we are not often discarding the cell. We are just recharging it. Clear? Okay. So in the case of normal cell, you know that as I had already told you, the carbon rod is placed inside the cell, and what happens, you know, when the carbon rod, yes, when these chemicals are there, when the chemical gets used up completely, you know, we are just discarding or throwing that cell. And you know, in the case of electric cell, chemical energy is getting converted into electrical energy. In the case of electric cell, chemical energy is getting converted into which energy? Very, very important thing. Chemical energy gets converted into electrical energy. Very, very important conversion. In the case of electric cell, chemical energy is getting converted into electrical energy. And when the chemicals get used up, we are supposed to discard or throw this cell. Clear? Yes. So the cell is having the both terminals, that is the positive terminal and the negative terminal. Very, very important question for the examination. You will be asked to explain the structure of the cell. So the cell is having the positive terminal and the negative terminal. Positive terminal, you can see the cap, it is the head of the carbon rod, tip of the carbon rod, that is the positive terminal, and the bottom it is the negative, or the plate opposite it is the negative terminal. As I told, the carbon rod is having the chemicals. When the chemicals get used, we are supposed to, the equipment stops working and we are supposed to replace it by using another one. Clear? As I told you earlier, kindly watch what? Kindly watch the corona awareness video. Clear, children? Until we meet in the next class, it's bye from me. Take care.